What's going on, everyone? This is your guy, Pat Bernard, back here making my appearance here on the Fightins Final. And this is not exactly how I want to enter after having being off from 6 months from doing my last post game show. The last time I did a post game show here, the Phillies got an exit from the Mets in the postseason. So maybe I'm a mush. Maybe I'm bad luck. I don't know what it is. Happy Easter to all Phillies fans. Happy Easter to everyone who's checking to the show, to all the It's a Wrap Sports show, fans out there. Unfortunately, I didn't get what I want. The Philly fanatic didn't get what he wanted for his birthday. This is not the birthday gift that he wanted. But when your bats do not come around and they take their foot off the gas pedal, this is the kind of stuff that happens. This is the kind of stuff. You're going to rely on your bullpen to get you out of trouble. And there's only one guy that you could rely on in that bullpen, and that's Jose Alvarado, because everyone else stinks. Matt Strom stinks. Kirk Green stinks under pressure. And there's bats went ice cold today. Oh, I'm fed up. I'm not happy. This is not the Easter how I want this. It's just, and let's get into a couple things here. Let's get into a couple. I took a bunch of notes. I wrote down. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm having some difficulties on my end. Don't want to do that to you guys. I apologize for the lag I'm going through. Sorry about that. But yeah, the Phillies, it's not pretty right now. It's not pretty. I get it. Listen, did they lose the series? No, they didn't lose the series at all. But you can't have this. The bats got ice cold, and that's what happened. The bats were ice cold today. Um, they jumped off to a good start, and then they fell apart. And this is what happens through the course of baseball. So let's get into some of these comments before I go any further. Um, Adam says the Phillies should have got the sweep. I totally agree with that. Happy Easter to you, Doug. Thank you so much. Ricky's watching. Appreciate Ricky. But yes, so before I was going through some difficulties, and I do apologize to the Phillies fans out there for watching me. Um, there's a bunch of things we need to get into. Like I said, great start by your Phillies offense. kind of getting on things, getting on top of the fish bright and early. But like I said, this bullpen flopped away. And the offense, I mean, there was a couple plays where the Marlins defense has some deficiencies. But the offense can't stop playing baseball after like 3 innings. They need to keep going. Like I said, the Phillies offense got lucky. There was a couple bloopers on the Miami Marlins side of things. That's what really kept them in the game. But like this game could have been over, way over. And I'm going to get into Javier Sanoa. I mean, this guy tortured the Phillies today. He tortured them. 4 for 5 with 5 RBIs. With 5 RBIs. And the killer is when he shot that rocket deep to left off of Kickering. It's horrible. And like, again, like I'm going to state again, because I don't know if you guys caught me because my blood pressure is high already, but my blood pressure now, it's high. And the Phillies need to do some work. Kickering let you down. Matt Strom let you down. It's terrible. And I get, look, it's one game. The Phillies fans were looking for the sweep. Should we really be mad? I think so. It's just the way we lost today. Like, that bullpen is horrible. And Mike Lauer said it best yesterday. Like, you can only rely on one guy, and that's Jose Alvarado. And that's it. Matt Strom stinks. He can't handle pressure. He says the bullpen sucks. Absolutely agree. Nobody's hitting. I agree with that too. No one is hitting. Not today. Only hitting for 3 innings is not good enough. Like, it's great. They come out in the first inning and they jumped all over the Marlins. Right, let's break it down, right? Trey Turner gets on base. Bryce Starr gets on base. Trey Turner gets on base. They both come up with some aggressive base stealing, right? It's all looking good. Bryce Harper with a double that drives in those 2 guys. Nick Castellanos drives in Bryce Starr off to a 3-1. I mean, this team was like off to the races. Jesus Lazardo pitch a gem once again. He did a really good job. I mean, he was really on point with sweepers, his changeups, really painting that bottom portion of the strike zone. He did a really good job. And then, like, later, towards like the 6th and 7th innings, he started painting the sides of it. Had 7 Ks today. Not bad. Great, like I said, great job. It should have did you in. But that bullpen, man, that one major blueprint that Orlando Kickering had, Orion Cakerin had screwed it up. I mean, he was terrible. And let's go to Kikerin's inning that he was in, right? He comes in for the 7th, right? He gives up 2 hits. Then Osuna crushes it deep to left. And that was pretty much the game. No, Herbert, what's going on, buddy? He says, it's time to make some moves. Penn, DEF, Hernandez, Romano, and Banks. Kierkegaard can't back-to-back, needs a journey down. Yeah, I agree with you. He may need some time in Piggy Land. It's good. Strom has been average. Strom has never been leverage. Never. Then he also says Kepler isn't worth keeping. Bring up the next talent. Yes, I want to get into this. Herbert, thank you. Like Max Kepler, 0 for 4 today. Brought nothing to the table. Hasn't done anything. He's been squat. If anybody's wasting your time here in this lineup, it's Max Kepler. And to be honest, the only reason we haven't harped on him is because Alec Bohm, for the good portion of the beginning of the season, has been the whipping boy. Like, he stinks. Wasted 7 starting pitching effort for 20 games. Yeah, I agree, Harbor. Games, 1 game with an RBI. Yeah. But yeah, again, like, what's going on with the Phillies? What's happening today? And again, I thought this was going to be a sweep. I thought they should be able to walk this out. And again, if we didn't learn a lesson yesterday, because yesterday made my sphincter tighten up after that win. And again, it's just it's a plenty of things today, plenty of things that went wrong. Like, and I don't get it. And Connor Gillespie for the Marlins, their starting pitcher. To me, he didn't pitch that well. I mean, there was times he pitched outside, working around the strike zone, but most of the times he was giving you free walks. He was, I mean, the only person, I mean, Kyle Schwarber kind of picked up what he was doing. I mean, yeah, he did have some stuff that came inside, but most of his stuff was outside the strike zone. I don't get it. I mean, Connor Gillespie, right, gave up 7 hits. He only had 3 Ks on the day. Like, this is their lineup doesn't. I mean, like, I don't know, man. I thought this should have been. I thought the Phillies should have won this game today, and I might be overreacting, but to me, this wasn't great baseball by your Phils, obviously today. I mean, you're off to a good lead, and you just sat on it, and you took your foot off the gas pedal. That's just plain blank what happened today. Herbert also says, call bad management. Here we go. Here we go. Ebbs and flows. Yeah, and this is the ebbs and flows. Look, I might be overreacting, right? It's just one game. But I think a lot of Phillies fans can agree with me. It's just the way they lost today. This is like typical, right? And pretty much everyone in the lineup, other than Max Kepler, had a hit today. But it's, I don't know. Like I said, everyone came up to a hot start, and then they took their foot off the gas pedal. Like Cal Stevens came in a little bit later into the game, trying to make things happen. And again, a couple bloopers from Miami's defense that which kept the Phillies in the game. But even the Phillies today, on the defense side of things, I've seen bloopers from Stott today. I've seen a blooper from Bryce Harper today. Herbert says Schwarber's last 7, 8, and 9 at best. No effort. Sorry, we gave up. He gave up. I don't know. I don't want to say he gave up. And again, I do see when these guys get these early jumps, Herbert, they tend to get a little aggressive with the bat, which sometimes that could be okay, swinging at first pitches. But yeah, it wasn't pretty down the stretch today with this lineup. Tyler the Horseman, he won't act. Minor league manager makes friends, not moves. Listen, oh, you're talking about Topper. I got you. Yeah, you know what, Herbert, like, it kind of scares me. Is no one ready in their eyes to come up here? Like, why aren't they bringing some new blood in here? Like I said, I think a lot of Phillies fans today, and guys, this is Patrick Bernard on the Fightins Final right here on It's a Wrap Sports. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Love to hear from you some more. We have tons great action here on the network. But I just don't get it. The only way they've gotten on base today was a hit by pitch. Sometimes they got some nice walks, and that was it. And some bloopers from the Miami Marlins defense. I mean, them finding the gap, them going to find small ball up the middle, and that other stuff. No, it didn't pan out that way. Happy Easter to you, Mike Peppernick. What's up, buddy? Rob says this is the team. It's not. It's clearly not. Look, Rob, I agree. This team has major flaws, and today, a lot of Phillies fans are upset, including myself. They sat on a 4-1 lead, and then they fell apart. And then they made things interesting, right? To get themselves back in this game with a couple blooper mistakes from the Miami's defense, a couple walks, and all that. But there was not like finding the gap hitting. No one hit the long ball today. Like that kid Noah was tormenting the Phillies today. Tormented them. He tormented that bullpen today. And the Orion Kickering, he gave that kid Noah a Girl Scout cookie right down the middle in the 7th, and he went deep. And he goes deep to left. And that was kind of like the indication this game was going to be over. He goes, all those base runners, all those indecisions, they suck. They do. It wasn't great today. like yesterday, they got out of Citizen Bank Park yesterday by their nose hair, and today, and again, I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, they could come out with a great attack and then just sit there and sit on their hands. I, I'm just trying to figure this out. I mean, if you're looking for bright spots, I mean, Marchand, there was a couple bright spots with him. He had a nice little hit today. He had a nice defensive play early on in the game where he tracked down Kyle Stowers and got him out. JT Remutu like. But other than that, I mean, there was really no major bright spots after that play. And it's terrible. It's terrible. And again, it was nice to see this team hit early on. Like I said, I seen Alec Bohm with a double in the fourth, Rojas with a single. And that was like the last time there was any kind of hitting was the fourth inning. That was it from the Phils. Like I just I don't get it. And it's not just like the bottom part of the lineup, the top part, the middle part, like the whole everyone in the batting order got cold, and you can't be playing that way. So let's go over some of the stats today because we need to talk about what happened. Like I said, let's go over the pitching side of things. As Jesus Lazardo, like I said, like I mentioned to you guys earlier, played very, very well. It's a shame he just didn't see a win out of this. 7 Ks, he gave up 8 hits himself, 2 runs, 1 earned run. It wasn't ugly. It wasn't pretty. Again, he did okay, but the bullpen is where the problems came. Orion Kirkering giving up 3 hits, 3 runs, and like I said, that's when Sanoa just ate him up in the seventh. You had Alvarado come in. I mean, how about Alvarado though? Throwing 99 to 100-mile-an-hour fastballs right down Broad Street, right down the Passing Ave. So your Phillies today had a total of 9 Ks, gave up 11 hits, 1 walk. Yeah, that's not going to cut the cheese. That's not going to cut it. Your Phillies out front fence. Bryson Stott only 1 hit. Trey Turner had 2 hits. Bryce Harper had 2 hits, 2 for 5. Kyle Schwarber 0 for 4. Nick Castellanos 1 for 3. Max Kepler 0 for 4. Rojas 1 hit. Cal Stevens only had 1 hit. And Marchand had 1 hit. I know. I know, Mike. Max Kepler is batting 231. He's horrible. Yeah, he is horrible. He's garbage. And I agree. This is where Mike, like I mentioned earlier, like I don't understand. Like they jumped on the Marlins early in this game, and then was nowhere to be found. There is no dog in this team, and it's weird. It's the whole lineup gets cold. Like, there's no one that carries this team. Like, it's a weird snowball effect. Like, when they're hot, they're all hot. You're right. You saw it 1 through 4 today. 1 through 4 innings. But when they're cold, they're ice cold. Like I said, Connor Gillespie pitching around the strike zone. He started later on. He started to come into the strike zone, but there was most of his pitches were right outside. He was walking the borderline from the pitch zone, the strike zone, all around it. Yeah, it is weird. This is a bad team with a winning record, Mike. That's I'm with you. Look, they've yet to face a sweep, right? It's just, they won the series, so I guess we shouldn't be that aggravated. I guess in the last 2 games, that the way this Phillies team has just stopped stacking on runs, it kind of bothers you. It kind of bothers you the way to see that how this bullpen has played out. It does bother you with the way this bullpen has played out. How sloppy it's gone. Mike says there is no leader on this team, and I'm tired of hearing Harper and Schwarber are leaders. Leaders are lead by example. I get it. They are probably your leaders, but doesn't mean that they're doesn't mean that they are your most productive players on the team. But it sucks because you rely on those guys to make the big plays. Like Alec Bohm has come around a little bit, but again, this team can only give you 4 innings of hitting. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. What we saw in the last 2 games, only 4 innings of hitting is not good enough. That's not going to win you a World Series. And your bullpen is just melting. Melting. Matt Strom melted under pressure today, coming in for extra innings. Orion Kirkering melted today in the 7th inning. Melted. Already had defeat written all over his face. This is just not good baseball today. Today was not good baseball. You sat there, you jumped on, you only give 4 innings of hitting, and that's it. That was the only time we saw this offense, really. The rest of the offense, it's because the Marlins were making mistakes in the field. Their infield was making a bunch of bloopers. That's not good enough. This is not the Easter that I wanted to celebrate. This is not the Philly fanatic. This is not what he wanted for his birthday. This team's got major issues, and it starts at the top. It starts at the top. I'm just hoping a bomb catches the eye of some sucker of a GM to take in. Wow. Listen, um, I know, Mr. Papernick, you are not a fan of Mr. Topper, but I got to be honest. If they change out Topper, I don't understand what's that going to do. Does that give the team a little bit of motivation? Why? Because back in 22, it gave the team motivation when they got rid of Girardi is that we have to do to get this team rocking and rolling every time. Every time. But look, it's ebb and flows of baseball. It happens that the offense needs to start picking up. They just can't take their foot off the gas pedal and rely on a bullpen that's mediocre. This bullpen's mediocre right now. So again, let's go over some numbers. The Phillies, like I said, lose today 6-5. In the bottom of the 10th, they lose 6-5. They just couldn't hang on. They just didn't have a bat to come through. Mike says, I've been saying this for years, that the Phillies' personality is the manager, which is dead fish. Wow. I don't know if he's dead fish, Mike. I just don't see the motivation. Like, I don't see him motivating his players. And now I don't know what he says in the locker room, but I don't see the motivation there. I really don't. But yes, I mean, look, the bats have been an issue. The bats have been an issue. And like I said, today they got hit by pitches. They were drawing walks. That was about the only bright spot. My Marlins their infield made some dumb decisions today, not coughing up the ball. But the Phillies had their fair share of bloopers today too in the infield. In the infield, Stott, Bohm, Harper, they had a couple bloopers today. So, guys, if you're watching the show, what do you think needs to happen as they head up to face the amazing Mets? Because I hope they can turn this thing around. Because that's the one team you're not going to be able to sit on. Because if you thought you could sit on the Marlins, that Mets team, and look, I call it how I see it, that Mets team will torment this Phillies team. But yeah, so again, Jesus Luzardo gives you 7 strong innings. Kyle Kingery will come in. Ryan Kingery will come in, screw it up. Jose Alvarado will then take over. He had a nice outing, throwing 99, 100-mile fastballs, and then in the extra innings, Matt Strom, when the pressure's on, he lets you down. This team bottomed out against the backs in the pennant comeback next season. Play good for 3 months. Bottom out in the second half of the season. Get their asses kicked against the Mets in the playoffs. Yeah, they did. They listen. That was the story last year. As a matter of fact, I'll go back a little further with you, Mr. Papernick. That Oakland A's series right before the All-Star break told me a lot of things about this team moving forward. Because you're right, they were 2 different stories. We know what happens. We all know about Ranger Suarez. We know that whole story. And the way they fell off with the Mets, I guess I was just being optimistic that this team was going to turn some things around. And look, today was a bad loss. It's a bad loss. They didn't lose the series. Mike, you said it best. This team is a bad team with a winning record. Why? Because you have Jesus Luzardo in there. You have Wheeler. They can bail you out. Christopher Sanchez. They can bail you out. After that, you have nothing in your bullpen. No arm. There's no arm other than Jose Alvarado. There's not one arm you can rely on. From Nola, Matt Strom, Orion Pickering, you name it. there's not an arm you can rely on, other than the three guys I just mentioned. This bullpen is going to giving the Phillies. You've seen it, right? This bullpen is going to give this Phillies team a lot of trouble. But anyway, like I said, the Phillies get handed losing 6-5. Let's go around the league a little bit, as we do here around the bases. So let's get into that. Let's see what's going around the MLB. Should be fun. All right, guys. As I mentioned, your Phillies lose today, 6-5 in extra innings, losing to the Fish today. Other than that, let's get in some other action. You have right now the Cubs and Diamondbacks battling out bottom of the fifth, 1-1. You have the Colorado Rockies right now, top of the ninth, losing to the Nationals, losing 2-3 at home. You have the Giants and Angels battling out 0-0. You have the Padres and Astros tonight at 7 o'clock on ESPN. And here goes some of the other action that just obviously let's get into it. I'm sorry. The Phillies lose 7-5 today. I'm sorry. I mushed that up. Phillies lose 7-5. Let's get into White Sox win today over the Red Sox. White Sox win 8-4. How about this beatdown? How about this beatdown today? Cincinnati Reds win 24-2 over the Baltimore Orioles. Cleveland Guardians win 5-4 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Braves win 6-2 over the Twins. Seattle Mariners win 8-3 over the Blue Jays. Kansas City Royals win 8-3 over the Blue Jays. Mariners win. All right. Yes. Royals beat the Tigers 4-3 in extra innings. The Yankees mopped the floor with the Rays winning 4-0. The Mets win 7-4 over the Cardinals. The Brewers hosting the Athletics, winning 14-1. And the Dodgers beating the Rangers 1-0. And that'll be your final for today. So, again, let's get in some more conversation here before I get out of here. Let's talk some more to the people because I see it's loaded with comments. I love talking to the people. Mike Pepper says, I can't complain about Walker. He has pitched well except one game. Yeah, I'm not complaining about him. Cousin Steve's in the house. What's up, Steve? I'll have overpaid teams that look gifted. Literally a gift horse in the mouth for 200. Alex. Oh, I guess you. Yes. Broken Bell Network checking into the show. Appreciate it. Phillies pitching can eat a bag of ODs. Okay. Will Noah's assuming Noah's pitching, assuming tomorrow. Let's all just pray. Yeah, you're going to need to pray, bud. You're going to need to pray. Well, that's going to be 0-5 for Nola. That's 0-5. But, yeah, let's talk about today, though. Let's talk about Ricky says, go Phils. Yeah. It's a little hard, Ricky. It's a little hard when the offense only gives you 4 innings of baseball. Steve says, time to party like it's 2012 while our pen looks like it's 2021. Yeah. Our bullpen's horrible, Steve. Like I mentioned, there's only 3 arms you can rely on. and that's starters. And one, I'm sorry, forearms, and one guy from the pen, and that's Jose Alvarado. The rest of this line, the rest of those arms stink. Lazardo, Wheeler, Sanchez, and Alvarado are the only guys I can rely on. Everyone else stinks. Brian Torres says Phillies. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Phillies stink. This Phillies team's horrible. Just I'm just upset today. I'm just upset. Nowhere this offense was found. They got lucky today after the fifth inning. They got lucky. They got lucky. They got hit a couple times. They drew a couple walks. Marlins defense had a couple bloopers. They got lucky. That's what kept them competitive. I mean, they can't even find a hole in the gap after the fourth inning. Nothing up the middle. No long balls. Ice cold. Ice cold. The whole entire offense. 1 through 9 after the fifth inning. 1 through 9. Like, this offense doesn't scare anybody. On paper, it looks great. On paper, they look like they could put the fear in anybody. But in reality, they don't scare anybody. So, again, my final thought tomorrow, get ready to head up to Queens to get a shellacking. They're going to go into the woodshed, and they're going to catch a beating from the Mets. And it's going to suck. It's going to suck because I can't see Nola getting his head ready for that team. Steve says, "Well, yes, it may have been the right thing to expect a letdown for years from Hoffman." And Fest says, "Betting on only Ramado will when we need him. Marzella and Provolone a little short-sighted." Yeah, this team has been a little short-sighted. Like you said, Steve, the whole entire bullpen stinks with Nola. Like I said, Alvarado's your only saving grace. Nola's your only saving grace, Steve. I mean, Nola. I mean, Alvarado. So, guys, I just want to say thank you so much. I hope everyone had a great Easter. I hope the Phillies own it. I hope everyone was sitting there with your loved ones, enjoying family time. It's not the way us Philadelphians want to go into the work week with this kind of taste in our mouths. But like I said, I hope everyone enjoyed their holiday. Everyone, I want to say thank you so much for chatting up with me. Again, I'll be back on next week, and I'll catch you guys later. For me, for Pat, for me, the rest of the entire Fighting Finals crew, I want to say thank you. In the It's Rap Sports, stay tuned because you got Matty B coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm sorry, he's in Florida right now. He'll be back here on Wednesday. The Matty B show will be back on Wednesday. So stay put. Then you have the Attack in Third with me and Steve Fernandez. That's going to take place. And then you have me, Pat Bernard. It's a wrap. So I will catch you next Sunday morning, back to my normal time slot at 9 a.m. on Sundays. So, guys, I want to say thank you so much. Everyone have a great afternoon. Go Phillies.